As a financial coach, when I meet with somebody for the very first time, one of the things I want to know is all their financials. I want to know where they are with their income, their expenses, their debts, their liabilities, their different insurances, with their different retirement plans. I want to know all those details. But more important than that, I want to know what their financial perspectives are. I want to know what their attitudes, behaviors, beliefs. I want to know, what do they think about different topics in the financial industry. One of the things that I do is, as a financial coach, when I onboard a brand new client, I will send them a link to what's called the Financial Perspectives Test. This is a test that will give you insights into the 8 financial perspectives that are necessary, that we all have, and gives you a kind of a rating as to how strong or how weak you are in that area. I'm going to go through the 8 financial perspectives. I'm going to talk about each one of them briefly, and then I'm going to share with you the results that I had when I took the test, and see if you might be interested in learning more about how to take this test and how to become one of my clients, so that you can learn more about the financial perspectives that you have. Super funny story. After I gave one of my clients this test, they literally said, "How does this thing know me so well?" So this is a very revealing test. This is something that really gets into your personal perspectives on finances and helps you understand more effectively where you are currently and how you can develop the right perspectives to help you build wealth and turn income into wealth. The first one is altruism. Altruism is the perspective on contributing time, money, and resources to others. So are you altruistic? Are you somebody that believes in giving to others? There's some strength in that. However, there's also some weakness in your desire to give to others. If you're giving things you don't have, you can't give from an empty cup. You have to make sure that your cup is full and then give from a full cup. So altruism is an important perspective to have, but is it holding you back, or is it moving you forward? Is it a reason to be successful, or is it an excuse as to why you're not successful? The second one is budgeting. What are your views around spending plans? Now, I know budgeting is kind of got a bad rap. It's the B word of finances. So it's important to realize that you need to have a conscientious spending plan. What are you doing with your money? As your money comes in, how are you allocating that money to the things that you want to have in your life? Are you buying things that are bringing you value? Or are you continuing to buy things that you wonder why you bought them later? You have that regret, that desire later to sell it and get your money back, or to you realize, man, I have buyer's remorse. That's very real. So having a conscientious spending plan. How well are you at tracking your expenses, at tracking your money? So budgeting is the second financial perspective that I go through with my clients to see how they feel about really dialing in, tracking and keeping track of their expenses. I actually created a free ebook that goes into the details of how I go through all of my spending, how I look back on the last 90 days, how I move forward with tracking and making sure that I keep track and really becoming aware of my spending. If you want to download that ebook, it's free. It's about 18 pages of great information. It's actionable information. It's not one of those fluffy ebooks where you just download it and you're really not sure what to do even after you've read it. It literally will walk you through that. There's an upgrade to some video courses that I think are fantastic. Click the link in the description below if you want to get the free ebook. It's at pariscluff.com/free book. It's totally worth it. I've had clients save $600, $700, $800 a month by going through this process, and I promise that it will be valuable to you. The third one is a future focus, your attitudes towards and clarity regarding the future. Now, a lot of people recognize that you got to live in the now. You're alive right now. The future is never guaranteed to anybody. And while that's true, we have to balance our past, present, and future. We have to balance our current self with our future self, so that when you don't want to spend tomorrow's money today, and then your 5 years from now self says, "Why did I do that?" You want to be able to give your year from now, your 5 year from now, your 10 year from now self, you want to set them up for success. So basically what I'm telling you about future focus is you want to set yourself up for success, so that in 5 or 10 years you look back and you say, "Thank goodness I did that. Thank goodness I was wise enough to make those decisions back then." The next one is investing. What are your views regarding long-term investing? Now, investing takes on many forms. One of the most famous forms, one of the most well-known forms, is obviously stock market. There's also real estate investing. There's also business. You can invest in a business and build your own business. So there's several different ways to invest. I recommend finding out which one you feel the most comfortable with. If you feel most comfortable with investing in stocks, investing in index funds, investing in ETFs, investing in mutual funds? Do you feel more comfortable investing in real estate? Do you feel more comfortable building a business, starting a side hustle that you can invest in that will eventually pay the bills and down the road so that you can have a passive income? What is it that you feel? How do you feel about investing? And then what are some of the ways that you want to invest for your future? Because one of the most important things we can do today for our future self is set aside some money. Set aside some money for our future self. So investing is a key thing. Now, I'd love to know more about how you'd like to invest in your future. Are you more of a stock person, real estate person, or are you more of somebody that wants to build a business? The next perspective is your lifestyle perspective. Lifestyle is your attitudes about status and lifestyle. It's a little bit of that keeping up with the Joneses. Do you look around the neighborhood and see who has the new cars, who got the new boat, and you're like, oh, he got the boat, I need to get the boat. They got the new car, I need to get the new car. Oh, they have that nice new suit, I got to get the nice new suit. Are you the person that really kind of cares about status and lifestyle? Because if you're really high in status and lifestyle, you're probably not going to be able to build wealth as easily as somebody who is indifferent about status and lifestyle. Keeping up with the Joneses is one of the fastest ways to stay poor or stay broke or stay very limited in your ability to create wealth. Now, there's a lot of people that make a ton of money and they go spend it lavishly to let you think that they're rich, and that is somebody who might be high in lifestyle but really low in some of the other areas that we're going to talk about. The last area that we're going to talk about is something that is very important. So are you turning your income into wealth, or are you turning your income into things so that you can show off to people? That is what lifestyle is all about. The next one is resources. Resources is attitudes about sources of financial security. Now, I think of resources as your ability to be self-reliant, your ability to be independent or interdependent. Do you have the resources necessary? Do you believe that you have the resources necessary to accomplish all the goals and dreams that you have? And you don't need a ton of outside resources because you know you have the resources to get there. Somebody who has the resources, who has a high belief in resources, they know that they can get things done. They know that they can learn the skills, they can obtain the skills, they can obtain the necessary whatever it is to be able to accomplish their goals. And they can do it themselves. They have a confidence to know that they can do it themselves. So resources is a huge, huge deal. The next one is spending. Now, this one is key. And if you don't know how to control your spending, I highly recommend you download my free ebook, because freedom is on the other side of discipline. And I highly and strongly believe that. So spending. Are you spending more than you should? Are you spending less than you should? Do you get joy out of spending? Is spending one of those things that you're like, man, I'm really stressed out, I'm gonna go spend money to kind of blow off some steam, I'm gonna go buy things, I'm gonna go shopping? If that's the kind of person you are, then that's the things that you need to watch out for. Those are the triggers that you have that you need to take control of so that you're not blowing all your money every month. The last thing, before I share with you my personal results when I took the test, is wellness. And this wellness gauges an overall wellness. How do you feel about your finances today? How do you feel about your resources, your altruism, your budgeting, your spending, your investing, your lifestyle? How do you feel about all these things all wrapped into one score that tells you how your wellness is? What is your financial wellness score? Are you high? Is it close to 100, or are you low and it's close to 0? Or are you in the middle there somewhere where you feel kind of good and you feel kind of like, you know what, there's still some more that you can do? Would you like to know what your scores are in each of these 8 areas? Then you're going to want to make sure that you download that ebook that I shared with you earlier and go to pariscluff.com/freebook, and you'll be able to access that book. And then there's an email how you can schedule a discovery call with me. And if you want to know your financial perspectives, then you're going to want to schedule a discovery call with me where I can go into how we can get you to know what your scores are. All right, let's jump into my scores and what I did and how I scored on all of these 8 areas. Okay, so here are the results from my financial perspectives test that when I took it in the 8 areas of financial perspectives. Let's take a look. In wellness, I scored a 50 out of 100, which is right there in the middle. Altruism, I scored an 80 out of 100. So you can probably predict there that I'm pretty giving. I love to give up to others. I love to give my time. I love to serve others. I love helping others. It's really kind of cool that as a coach that I have a high altruism score, because that means I want to give more And if you engage me as a coach, I will always give more. I try to give more value than the investment it is to be my client. So I really want to give more value. Investing is a 50 out of 100. I'm pretty strong in some very foundational investing techniques. Budgeting, you can see I scored a 60 out of 100. Resources, I scored a 95 out of 100, which means that I'm highly confident in my ability to figure things out and to figure out what I need to do in order to obtain the goals that I have. Now, a score of 95, you might say, well, Paris, wow, that means you're really confident. But it's also a weakness potential because I could be overconfident. And if I'm overconfident, that means that I'm not going to be asking for help when I should. That means that I'm a do-it-yourselfer way more than I should. I probably should be delegating more tasks in my life, in my business life. But as a 95% resource out of 100, I definitely believe I can do it myself. And that is a strength, but it's also can be a weakness because delegation is a very powerful thing to be able to be successful. And most successful people learn how to delegate. Now you can see spending is 75 out of 100, which means that I do get joy out of buying things. I do have joy in spending my money. I just need to focus spending my money in the right things, in the right areas. Lifestyle, I do like to, look nice. I like to have nice things. I like to be able to have a nice home, a clean home. I like to have nice cars, nice things. But I also believe in being modest about those things. Like I don't have to have the fastest, most fancy stuff, but I do want to have good quality things. And so I believe that lifestyle for me is more of that value. I'm willing to spend money to get value because those valuable things last longer. Lastly is future focus is 45, which means that I have a little bit to work on there and working on towards my future, my financial future. So now that you know about the 8 financial perspectives, what do you think your score is going to be if you took the test? If you missed the last video that I produced where I went through a process of looking at all of my spending and kind of cutting out things that weren't bringing me value, you can click right here. I actually saved almost $500 a month. It's totally worth watching. Until the next video, make sure you're doing everything that you can every day to build a massive bank account and turn your income into wealth.